In our Sunrise Smart Start, a special vote by the Irondequoit Town Board to censure Councilwoman Patrina Freeman. Freeman was the lone vote no, and with the censure, she cannot reach out to board members directly, only through a mediator.
This comes after Freeman accused Town Supervisor Rory Fitzpatrick of slamming her wrist in a door. After an investigation, police say there wasn't enough evidence to back the claims. Freeman now intends to sue the town for discrimination.
The goal here is simple. It is to defame, humiliate, and silence me. But I will not be silent. Rather, I will continue to fight.
When I have employees and groups and boards and everything here in town saying, that they're not comfortable working with a certain member, I become the lightning rod in that.
Board members have called this infighting a big distraction and say it's time to press on.
Brandon Washington, the man that police are linking to the gang turf war they deem responsible for the shooting death of a Rochester police officer, appeared in court yesterday. In court, the judge learned a private lawyer has not been retained and instead recommended an appointed attorney. The judge asked how long it would take to retain a lawyer. Washington asked to have until the end of the month. The attorney and probation department agreed to complete the pretrial interview by the end of this week. The detention hearing is now scheduled to take place on the 18th of November.
The Rochester Police Department says an investigator committed at least one violation of department rules during a confrontation with an EMT. This happened in the Strong Memorial Hospital Emergency Department over the summer. On July 11th, a paramedic at the hospital allegedly bumped her door against investigator Charles Lotiempo's patrol car. Lotiempo then detained the paramedic while she was tending to a patient. According to Monroe Ambulance, the paramedic sought medical attention after minor injuries. Following the internal investigation, Lotiempo has been placed on paid suspension and faces a range of disciplinary actions, including possible termination.
Allure Nightclub on Central Avenue in Rochester has been ordered to close down. This after two separate incidents in October, one where an argument ended with someone being stabbed and another incident last week where a person inside the club was shot. The closure order states that even though 14 security guards were present, someone was still able to get in with a gun. This crackdown is part of the city's gun violence state of emergency. The House of Mercy homeless shelter reopened for the first time in 3 months. That's after a deadly machete attack allegedly by one of the residents.
News 8 got a look at the renovations, which includes a new security system and a security guard to monitor it. House of Mercy has the capacity to sleep 76 residents, but is only accepting 40 right now. Employee mental health is a priority, especially after the attack this summer.
Governor Kathy Hochul and Congressman Brian Higgins announced $500,000 in federal funding is coming to Monroe, Buffalo, and Niagara counties. The funding will support efforts that combat terrorism or domestic terrorism and violence. $100,000 of that will be sent directly to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office.
2 people were hospitalized yesterday after an electrical incident involving a transformer. This happened at the Civic Center parking garage located on Fitzhugh and Broad Streets in downtown Rochester. The Rochester Fire Department received calls for reports of a loud bang due to that electrical issue. RFD says the 2 people who were injured are in stable condition. They were workers performing a demo on that transformer and the power had not been cut.
Now in some national news, one of the 3 members of famed rap group Migos was killed in a shooting outside of a bowling alley in Houston yesterday morning. 28-year-old Kershnik Kari Ball, known as Takeoff, was dead when police arrived. A witness says as he left, a fight started and then there were gunshots. Police are reviewing video surveillance in the area as they search for that shooter.
David Wayne DePape, the suspected attacker in the assault of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband Paul, pleading not guilty to all state charges in San Francisco court yesterday. The 42-year-old is facing numerous charges, including attempted murder after he allegedly struck Paul Pelosi with a hammer. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says her husband will have a long recovery. All right, let's check in now with meteorologist James Gilbert. James, maybe we're taking a morning walk this morning, maybe taking the dog on a walk. Is the dog going to be able to see through the fog?
Yeah, right. The dog's going to be looking.
At least he can smell his way better than we can, right?
That's true, yeah.
So true. Finding that favorite spot for the pup might be a little bit difficult this morning on that morning walk. We've got numbers in the 40s. It's just a couple of degrees above average. And note the sunrise time, 7:47. That's when we can finally get a little bit of sun to eat away at some of this fog that we are going to continue to battle. No rain, just a lot of low-level moisture out there. It's like we're in the cloud already. 59, that's got forecast afternoon high temperature, but if you are further inland, south of Lake Ontario, you'll get into the 60s. Along Lake Ontario, just low 50s for you. We'll have the bus stop and the extended forecast at the end of the show. Casey and Mel?
All right, James, thank you. Taking one last look at the roads this morning. We do have an accident on I-390 North at Route 15. That's exit 11. That was reported just a few minutes ago. So if you're heading into the city coming from that area, just be aware there might be a holdup. Also, as James mentioned, just be aware of the fog that is clouding the roadways this morning. It's been over a year since U.S. forces pulled troops out of Afghanistan, leaving behind many civilians who assisted the U.S. in carrying out their missions.
Now, local organization Keeping Our Promise is still fighting to get those families out of the country and to start a new life right here in Rochester. Last night, one of those efforts finally came to a conclusion with an Afghan family arriving in Rochester 9 years after initially applying for their visa.
Can't express the feeling I have right now. Just very excited to be here in our new home with my family.
Zar Mohammed was an interpreter for U.S. forces in Afghanistan, and now after his visa was destroyed, he's finally able to make his way to the U.S.
Well, it's November 2nd, and if you didn't already know, November is National Adoption Month.
Sure is. And News 8's Jatira Marsh spoke with a local adoption permanency specialist to learn about her experience working with families and the importance of adoption. Jatira, good morning.
Casey, Amel, good morning. Marty Cardona has not only worked with families for over 45 years, but she's also adopted some children of her own. Adoption is a lifelong journey for both the child and the adoptive family. Depending on the age of the child, Cardona says the process can take anywhere between 1 to 5 years. Placing over 2,000 children, she shares the most gratifying part of her experience.
I have many children who joined their adoptive families 30 and 40 years ago. And many of them do come back to be in touch with the agency. And so I get to visit with them when they're adults. I often get to meet their children. And that is typically very heartwarming to see.
Cardona says adoption to her is important because it allows the child to have permanency and a place to call home. She suggests for families looking to adopt to take their time, do the research, and find a place that will work best for you and with you. Casey, Amel.
All right, Jatira, thank you. And of course, we'll have more information on this over on our website, rochesterfirst.com, in just a little bit.
The Powerball with no winners from the last drawing, now an estimated worth $1.2 billion, the fourth largest jackpot in U.S. history. The next drawing will be tonight.
Here's what some folks might be talking about at the water cooler this morning, if it's not already the jackpot. The Bills waited up until the last minute, but they did end up making a splash at the deadline. They added pass-catching running back Nyheim Hines from the Colts, sending running back Zach Moss and a conditional 6th-round pick. Some information on the Bills' new running back. Hines has the 5th most receiving yards for RBs since he entered the league in 2018. Hines has also been one of the league's top 10 punt returners in each of last 3 seasons.
The Bills also brought back a familiar face in safety Dean Marlowe. With Micah Hyde done for the year and Jordan Poyer nursing that elbow injury, Buffalo wanted to add some depth at that position. Marlowe played for the Bills for 3 seasons. That was from 2018 to 2020. And in exchange, the Bills sent Atlanta a 7th-round pick.
All right, James, what do you think? Did they make the right choice?
Yeah, I think so. Right. Adding some pieces to make that Super Bowl push.
Some people would rather get that Super Bowl ring than that winning lottery ticket.
Right.
Yes, I think that is true. Bring a ring to Buffalo, New York. More than money could buy. Right. If we're thinking about getting on the bus stop this morning, we've got lots of fog out there. Sunrise at 7:47. A lot more time until we finally start to see a little bit of clearing. May not happen until we get into the afternoon. We'll go from the 40s, likely into the 50s. A few spots could just touch 60, but generally in the upper 50s there. Thursday, tomorrow looks good. We'll climb into the mid to upper 60s. And then into the 70s, looks like Friday, Saturday, and then potentially into Sunday. Still ironing out the details, but could deal with some showers possible for the second half of the weekend. Going to be a little bit breezy as well. But there's always going to be caveats when you're talking near record warmth come early to mid-November. So we'll adjust that forecast accordingly over the next few days.
All right, James, thank you. And thank you so much for watching News 8 at Sunrise.
Our next update is coming up in 30 minutes. For now, CBS Mornings is up next. We hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.